Vince right here. Got my beer, got my snacks for this podcast, and yeah, we're just have like a chill night. And because there was a party, decided to celebrate a little bit. My fasting of like just 5 days. It's going good. The fasting, except for a particular day, which was Wednesday, last Wednesday, when I was with hanging out with my boy Stefan. Hopefully, you guys were at that stream. If not, that's probably a good thing because we live stream and yeah, there was some technical difficulties. My internet browser was not working, so I had to use something that is not Google Chrome because it keeps busting on me from the live stream. But also, um, the audio of like two microphones were not working with me, Stefan, except you have well, actually, there was only one. The other one wasn't working, but the one was working in I guess my laptop can only choose one, which is like doesn't make sense. So yeah, that happened. That shit's great. But yeah, pretty much I wasn't supposed to record anything for VinzTalk, but I might as well because um even though I covered a little bit of ground from from me live streaming with Stefan, the audio, yeah, it wasn't good. Pretty much Stefan had most of the audio, and it's coming from these old headphones. And yeah, it pretty much, and there was a lot of good stuff that I didn't really cover at all. And I guess I'm doing a continuation of that in a sense where I'm trying to actually catch up. We did talk about the PlayStation Showcase and stuff, but I didn't really cover the main details within the PlayStation Showcase. So here I am attempting to do that while I try to actually, record this as well. As I'm on IGN for some of these announcements and stuff like that. So that's going to be in the gaming section. And if you don't know, I have different sections for different segments of topics. I keep that organized at least. First is like the news. Well, actually, first is the update. Like, hey, how's it doing? How am I doing? Oh, I'll tell you how I'm doing. And next is the news. Next is the gaming news. Next is in the last is the animation news, stuff in animation, which is a good amount that I'm going to be talking about. So here I am, and pretty much I did a live stream with Stefan. We talked about I actually did a like interview testing of just like the way I record it. We also talk about like his life in college and how he's like quitting college to actually pursue in music, which I hope that goes well because I'm an honest person of like anyone's future. You want to choose this, there's going to be some downfall behind it. So good luck. Um, but yeah, I'm optimistic for like his future and stuff. It's just that he needs to bring that work. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you really got to make connections. My boy Stefan, to give him advice, I don't know if I did give him so I feel like I did, but I probably forgot. I don't know. It's late at night, but I would ask him like, tell him like you need to make connections. And that's what he's doing with, finding an engineer, finding somebody to record for him or studio out there. Me, I usually just do stuff by myself and I gain the numbers. But me working with Webtoon and trying to work with other collaborations, which I've been lazy with, I'm not gonna lie, I've been kind of lazy about that. But this time I'm gonna make that happen somehow. It's crazy. We were supposed to go to Fanime. It's Fanime weekend, and if you don't know what that is, it's a convention here in the Bay Area in San Jose, and I just decided not to go because and I had a rant within the live stream, which people keep saying like, "Oh, you're being political, Vince." No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm being freaking reasonable. People don't realize this. I'm the most reasonable person you're ever gonna meet. I'm realistic with it. Okay, I give you the honest opinion, how I feel, how I am as a person, how you are as a person. I'm real about that. Okay, the truth is gonna be the truth. And to be honest with you, Fanime looking whack. I'm not gonna lie. What kind of convention is this? Like seriously, if there's some difference, and this is what I talked about, they still do the whole freaking vaccination cards, the mask thing. It's 2023, COVID's over. Like, what is happening? Are we still in freaking 2020? Is that what's going on here, Fanime? Is that I had a whole rant about it in Twitter, but they just don't know when to move on. Like, it's just so ridiculous, and I pretty much like rant a bit about it, which I was a little bit more energetic when ranting about it, like very passionately, in the in the live stream with Stefan, which kind of scares a bit of people here and there. But I was speaking my sense. I was speaking my mind out there. That's the spirit of Vince talk, where I talk loud and proud out there. You know, th- about issues and stuff like that. And here I am talking about right now. And pretty much the reason why I say that, in people that think I'm going to fan anime, no, I'm not. I was really looking into the details and stuff like that. But when I was looking into fan anime, there was first off, the tickets are expensive. They're over $50. They're over, like, one was like, cost $90 for a full weekend, which is like F that. Plus, I would purchase the tickets. I don't mind purchasing anything close to $90 when it comes down to an anime convention that I love. And I love anime. It's one of my first ever anime conventions, and it's just heartbreaking that they're doing this whole thing with the, again, with the restrictions. It's just ridiculous. I spoke to some people that went to the convention, and they agree. Like it's ridiculous. And it seems like especially me coming back from SAC Anime, which was earlier April, and also seeing stuff surrounding an Anime Expo, Anime Impulse in San Diego, in New York, Anime Vancouver, Anime, um MomCon, and probably other bigger conventions out there that are bigger than Fanime. And it seems like there's no point to really go to Fanime at all, because there's more options out there. I mean, there's been a lot of anime conventions, but it seems like there's better decisions out there, more affordable. No sack anime. It's like $15 to get in, or $25, and that is cheap. That is cheap. Ain't no way in hell I'm going to the same convention I went to last year with, with the same restrictions, because it was a headache. People don't realize this. They're very strict, okay? When it comes, and you would think that California's strict with their mask thing. They were. We were at the time. And rightfully so. How the pandemic was really affecting here in California. But since it's all cleared up, freaking Fanime is choosing to live in the past. That's why I call it MaskCon. It's literally MaskCon. It's, if you want to relive freaking 2020, there it is. There it is, with the mask and freaking vaccine, all that, or relive 2021 basically. And it's just ridiculous. And people don't understand when it comes down to my opinions. Listen, I care about when it comes down to being surrounded by people that want to wear masks or don't want to wear masks. That will be fine by me. The same thing with SAC Anime. There was a lot of people wearing masks, and a lot of people not wearing masks, and we were all getting along. But when it comes down to this convention, you're just dividing that. I hate dividing people. I hate when you divide, black from whites, gays to straights. People should learn how to get along. It doesn't make sense. And maybe that's not the intention of anime, what they're trying to go for. I don't know what the intentions are. No one knows. I still am trying to understand, like, or trying to find an answer or something like that, why Fanime choose to do that. I think someone said, like, from a live stream, from, I was typing it in and having a conversation with them via Twitch, and they said something like, "Oh, because I believe the convention forgot to notify about it from." I was like, "You had all that time, 12 months. You have all that time to notify them. What are you talking about?" Like, what do you mean Fanime didn't really get notification from the main hall of the CDC or something like that? Like, what's with all this? Look, even hospitals don't accept masks. And masks, when it comes to me wearing a mask, it's usually in hospitals, in airports, or if I'm having, like, serious allergies, what happened like last month. Yeah, I would probably wear a mask. But the thing is that, why would I wear one in a convention where I know I want to breathe and have fun? And it's just ridiculous. And the vaccination cards, that's just on, like, you PAX. I want to know PAX, which is a famous, like, video game convention. They're usually strict with masks, especially when it comes down to PAX Boston or PAX East. You know, they don't need they said something like, "Oh, we don't accept vaccination cards or anything like that." But you have to wear a mask to go in. And that's cool. Fanime, they're freaking pulling everything. The mask, the freaking vaccination cards, it's ridiculous. And I'm gonna be honest, I never liked wearing masks. I'm gonna be honest. I hate it. I hate it, okay? It just It's not my thing. That's for sure. And especially the vaccination cards, there was a time where I'm used to it, but since I see the videos and they're just so strict about it, it's like, what is the point of this? Like, grow up, fanime. Jeez. Like, if anything, just save your money for other conventions. That's what I would say. But I hope they don't do this next year. I swear. COVID's over at this point. We're worrying about other things. People are moving on. And people do need to move on. You know why? Because we need to freaking learn how to grow up. It's called being an adult, or actually, I don't know, just moving on with life. Reality. Understand this, okay? Really think about it. I know there's gonna be some people that are disagreeing with me, that are not liking what I'm saying, stuff like that. And you know what? That's cool. Let's talk about it on the comments. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, moving on. Speaking of stuff that are probably gonna get me canceled or stuff like that, there's some news here that I want to talk about. I heard the Mermaid, Little Mermaid, is out there, and I heard it's not doing good or whatever, or is it? I'm kind of curious about it, you know. But yeah, Aquafina is in it, and that song, people really hate that song. Okay, Aquafina. I mean, I know the Little Mermaid. I'm not really gonna support it or anything like that, but I just can't get that song out of my head. The Aquafina, Squircle Butt. Is that what it's called? Squircle Butt or something like that. It's like, what did they do to Aquafina for these Asian actors trying to make a living out there, and you pulling her for this? It is so sad to see. I mean, I'm serious. I don't, and what is up with the freaking crab, the lobster character? That doesn't look right. I don't know. I'm kind of curious for many reviews, or to actually see Little Mermaid in some way or something. Anyways, and also there's this news about this prankster named Mizzy in the UK, and he's a person that, listen. I don't like people when it comes down to pranking just innocence and just being that guy. It's never cool to be that guy, to prank, without consent or anything like that. The thing is, when it comes down to pranks, I don't care about it. That's not my content. I don't like it. I'm not into that. I never was into Sandpepper. If anyone's old enough to remember Sandpepper, and I because I just don't like pranks, even though they're lighthearted or whatever. I usually don't care. Maybe I might watch a few, but I usually don't care. Or social experiments, a lot of times I don't care about that. Especially the ones where you got these people like, asking for a bunch of girls' numbers and stuff like that. It's like, how on earth, like, that can't be real. The amount of numbers that you get, it's all luck. Like, it's insane. Like, hey, how you doing? Like, oh, can I get your number? And that's it. It's the most quickest, like, social experiment. Like, what is that? But Missy is a different kind of, like, prototype, where he just goes around and just starts havoc in the UK. And I don't know what's going on with the UK. I feel like there's so much news in the UK or something like that. The coronation was one of them. The prince, I mean, something about the prince, or like, and also the queen dying, like, and also like, I don't know. I feel like I'm consuming a lot of content that is like from the UK mostly. I don't know if there's some connection between the US and the UK because of what happened in Brexit a long time ago. But if you want to look that up, it's Brexit. It's something about the UK, like um, basically exiting the EU, which doesn't make sense because isn't UK regionally sent? Like here in America, we're part of North America because that's obviously where it's freaking is. Okay, and California is in North America. It's not part of like no other like region or something, or part of East Asia, or no. It's part of America. Okay, let's be obvious here. And for the UK, it's part of Europe. It's right there regionally, But it being not being part of the Europe or EU or something like that, someone can correct me because I'm a silly American. I don't know what I'm saying when it comes down to this knowledge within the politics behind the UK or anything like that. But yeah, it seems like this guy's like a mess in society within, like, especially the pranks he does, like, stealing someone's dog, entering someone's home, harassing people, like, just stealing someone's bike even. Like, I saw a video of that, and that's not cool. I talk about this particular person that I'm not gonna name that is also starting havoc somewhere in the Midwest of America, and I hate him. Like he's the same person that did something to Boogie 29.88, or is that numbers? Okay, Boogie, basically Boogie Francis, and though I'm not that fan, I'm not a really a big fan of Boogie in a sense, even though I watched the fight. I'm not, and I was cheering for him. I'm not a big fan of him. But doing something like that to him, what happened? Like the particular person that started that when, Boogie was like holding, like trying to defend himself. That was hard to watch. This guy is, not Boogie, but this guy, the other guy that was basically harassing Boogie at his home yard, was literally harassing other people, and that's just not right. Harassing people for the sake of content is wrong. It's wrong. It shouldn't ever be a type of content at all. Whatever happened to being genuine? Just be being genuine. Those same people could give you opportunities, but instead you choose to harass them for content. It's sad. It's sad. Mizzy with doing this, especially as a young individual, inspiring other kids to do the same and gaining a leader as if, and also for whatever reason, gathering a following because who would follow someone like that? It's sad to see because in society, in this new generation, it should never come to that. And people saying like is clout is a disease, and I can see why, because this is definitely a proof of that from Mizzy's point. And it's just yeah, pretty much I don't know what happened to him, but hopefully justice has been served to stop this kind of behavior basically. Next is let's go into some gaming stuff. We got some PlayStation news and we got to get into there, and because of stuff that I didn't really put notes in, I'm gonna talk about the freaking showcase because we about to do that. We doing that now. So the PlayStation showcase, it was like an hour long, I believe. And there was some good stuff. Like the biggest one is Spider-Man 2. And me and Stefan, we watched it together. When he was here, we watched the whole showcase unexpectedly because it was, I believe it's just during a Wednesday, and we all of a sudden hang out on Wednesday. It was during lunchtime, so we decided to actually have some lunch, have some wings. They were good. I cooked them, so they should be good. And yeah, we watched the showcase from beginning to end, and man, it was such good timing. My God, he was so excited for the Spider-Man 2. I was. It looked nice, I was kind of like asking the question, oh, will it be multiplayer? Because that would be nice, split screen, but I guess not. Because I think I heard someone like, oh, it's gonna be like single player. Like that sucks. But yeah, Spider-Man 2, like this person named Craven, an enemy, is gonna be in there. Also, the biggest announcement, which is the biggest reaction that I keep seeing reaction videos of, was Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater Remake Delta, because there's a Delta sign on it, And I thought it was Tree, but it's Delta. Even though it's sort of Tree, it plays around of the MGS tree. After this trailer, I literally got into actually, checking out Metal Gear myself. So I played Metal Gear 1, which I heard that that's not where you start. I think where you start is MGS tree on the PlayStation 2, but instead I played the one on the PS1. And I liked it. I can see why this game. The thing is that I played Metal Gear Solid before. I was never into it, but I played it before, knowing what it is, and especially on the PSP, a long time ago. But yeah, here I am playing it, revisiting it. I can see the appeal as an adult because I started playing that when I was a teenager. Um, Next is the PlayStation announced a dedicated device, which is a handheld. They also announced like earphones or something like that, but they announced like a Snapdragon or something like a I don't know if it's an equivalent to PS Vita or the PSP. Definitely not the PSP, but it's a console from the because the PS Vita is based on the PS4. This one, I guess, is based on the PS5. And for the popularity of handhelds, I'm not sure if this is going to do well, but I'm curious about it. Next is Assassin's Creed Mirage, which is not something I'm excited for. I keep looking at it and I'm like, I've seen this before. Okay, I've seen it before. Alan Wake 2 is coming. Cool horror game. I probably should check out Alan Wake 1. Final Fantasy. Not a Final Fantasy person. Never was. But there's a new Final Fantasy. And I heard it's going to be like 18 plus or something like that. Like it's going to be more adult team, like inspired by Game of Thrones or whatever. And also, it's I don't know, it's adaptation to the series because Final Fantasy 16 is called. It's coming. I don't know normal Roman numerals, but yeah, Final Fantasy. Dragon's Dogma 2. This one is a big one, and a lot of people are excited to see this game finally coming because it's like a long time waiting. Marathon. I want to talk about Marathon because I heard about Marathon, and let me tell you, I didn't know I was going to be this in depth when it comes down to so many of these PS IPs. The thing is, when I first saw Marathon, It's a game by Bungie, and I'm always interested when it comes to games by Bungie. The same thing with Destiny, the same thing with right now as I'm finishing Halo. And also right now, as I checked out Marathon, the old school Marathon from 30 years ago, which, believe me, I didn't listen, I'm not 30. People would think it's getting there. I guarantee you. But I'm not old enough to actually know what marathon is. So I revisit. I found out, and I hear you can actually download the first three marathons on the Aleph One on the Mac OS, which is the old school Mac OS computer. But you can get them for free on the website of Aleph One. And I start playing those via PC, and I gotta say, I I can see I'm excited for more. Like, the visuals for marathon looks nice. It looks like a very extreme sci-fi in a sense with gun mechanics. But I played the older one. I'm like, okay, so this is what they're reaching for. Bungie makes some interesting games, interesting FPS, and I appreciate that. I definitely noticed that when I played Halo, the first Halo, and I'm like, oh yeah, Bungie is something for sure. And also more stuff from Street Fighter 6, especially story mode. Next is what is this? Jade Raymond's Haven Studio reveals Fair Games. I don't know what that is. I didn't know if I see that. Oh, the Talos Principle 2. That looks interesting. I'm not sure if I really. Here, let me check it since it says shows it. Oh, geez. Okay, sorry. Freaking. I thought I muted all this, but I guess I didn't. Yeah, I muted that. Looks like a Pokemon game. Wait, it's not Pokemon. It's a Pokemon trailer because I'm on IGN. This is my first time using IGN as my source to actually check out games and stuff. It looks like a puzzle game in a sense, but it's I don't know. The visuals look nice. I think this is the one with the that's the one with the pyramid. So I I'm already interested from the pyramid from what it looks like. I always like the landscape of most games, but I don't know much about it, to be honest. Foam Stars was a game that I love seeing people's reactions, especially when they're like, "What the heck is this?" Like they say it's like a Splatoon-like shooter, even though instead of making a mess, you're making things clean because you're shooting bubbles. It's a game that I know people are not gonna like, but I'm like, okay, well, it seems interesting. It seems like the typical games that I've seen out there. But okay, it's doing something. At least the Plucky Squire, I'm excited for this on the Switch. So, not gonna be waiting to get a PS5 to play it. So because it's on the Switch. Phantom Blade, that one looks nice. Phantom Blade Zero. Pretty much it's like, I don't know, graphic game in itself. It's still a trailer going on. I'm trying to see more of it because it just looks nice. Okay, I never played Sekiro, but I was always into that kind of like hack and slash, Dark Souls style kind of visual. And this one sort of reminds me, or Ghost of Tsushima, probably more close to Ghost of Tsushima. Dope ninja game, even though I don't really play a lot of those. It looks nice. Ghost Runner 2 looks nice. The visuals, I'm curious of the story of Ghost Runner 2. I hope it's cyberpunk inspired because I'm trying to finish Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I've been very far off from that on Netflix series, but yeah. Ghost Runner 2, I'm excited for the gameplays for that one, to be honest. Arrowhead's Helldivers 2, never heard of that, but I guess it looks interesting. I'm not sure. I haven't seen any. Okay. Sword of the Sea. This is another one that I'm excited for because this one is inspired from Journey or continues the story from Journey or Pathless, the Pathless developer from Giant Squid. In this game itself, from the creators of Abzu, those visually nice games. And it all started with Journey of just how it portrays that way. Just beyond beautiful. This game, not only like you see the visual, the landscapes and everything, but you're also like a person doing tricks off a sword and using it as like either like a snowboard or a surfboard. You're just doing tricks with it. You know what I mean? More stuff for PSVR, which I don't really care about, but that's cool. Five Nights at Freddy's. I have a lot of people, a lot of fans that are into Five Nights at Freddy's, and this one involves like Help Wanted, which I never heard that before. Gris. The creator of Gris made another game called Neva, and this one looks nice. I was emotionally attached when I first saw Gris. I still listen to the intro song. It just gets me emotional. It sets me those vibes, And yeah, they're making more when it comes down to Neva. Next is Cat Quest, which is Pirates of the Caribbean. And, I wasn't never into any games when it comes to cats, but this one looks nice. This one looks very interesting. I feel like you don't need to play the two other Cat Quest games, but this one looks interesting enough to actually for me to jump in and check it out. Hopefully, it comes to Switch. Oh, this one is like a Breath of the Wild, freaking Tears of the Kingdom copycat. I swear, it's called Towers of Agasiba, 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 Agsiba, Agsiba. Okay, I'll just call it Ag. It's the Towers of Ag, and it's a Breath of the Wild like coming next year. It's very inspired by Breath of the Wild, that's for sure, or Tears of the Kingdom. But is it better? I look at the visuals of the games. It really didn't get the hype because it was coming after like the MGS3 announcement. But this one looks nice. Okay. Next is Revenant Hill. This one is another cat game, but it has some story to it, and I don't know, might be on Switch. Who knows? Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, which is Grand Blue is a series where I haven't heard in a while, so I don't know. It's good to see them back. Ultras is a colorful what is this, Metrovia or something like that? Oh no, it's called Ultras. Ultras. Tower of Fantasy, which I believe was a mobile game I seen. So interesting that they're having, or a PC port from Steam. And also there's like a whole bunch of like PSVR games. What's this? The Firewall. Oh, Concord. Now, that's an interesting one. I thought it was like Beyond Good and Bad. I think that's yeah, and but no, it's Concord. Like I was about to yell. I was like, oh man, no way. You know, Immortals of Avenum. Never heard that one before, but but yeah, that's it. I think that's all I have right now for these games, and yeah, that's pretty much my talk when it comes down to the PS Showcase. And next up is the oh yeah, I want to talk about this. Moving on from the PS Showcase, I want to talk about the whole thing about Nintendo taking down or trying to take down emulation, going on war with them. And as a person that is very heavily into emulation, I don't care what anyone says, okay? Emulation is here to stay, mostly because I'm the type of person I don't want to pay, and I don't really care about supporting bigger, you know, like big, Nintendo, big corporations and whatever, sticking to the man, as they say. But no, I just like to play games that are affordable and games that I have never played ever before. The amount of PS2 games I get to play, thanks to emulation. But this one involves Nintendo taking down Dolphin, which Nintendo always had like a thing with emulation. I'm not sure other companies are the same. I don't really see Xbox or even PlayStation doing that. PlayStation actually give away like what is it, a firmware or something update for like the PS3 emulator, so you can actually use that to actually play. Because in other words, how are you gonna play the PS3 emulator in ways if you don't have that firmware that PlayStation, Sony, the freaking website put out? But this one involves like Nintendo taking down Dolphin via Steam, which it doesn't affect much. It's just scaring them. It's like scare tactics, so Nintendo can stop the emulation community in some ways from that perspective. But this one is like involving their tactics, and I hope Dolphin doesn't get shut down. Dolphin being an emulator for Wii games and GameCube games, and a lot of people have better insights about this when it comes down to the whole court deal. I don't want to even get close to the whole court thing. Okay, court itself scares me, especially how it was in, for those that follow my channel, I was in evicted. So the whole thing of these, of course, like I try not to, like I'm basically court phobic. Court phobic, if I can make up a word. And this one, like, Nintendo taking out Dolphin, it wasn't a surprise, but it made me worry about the DS emulator, the GBA emulator, the 3DS Citra, and I hope that this doesn't continue on. And I can see why they're doing that, but I hope it doesn't continue on, because it seems like Nintendo is really, really getting annoyed with the amount of emulation. And they're a big company. They're freaking like $1 billion, what is it, 48 billion or whatever, that I checked their network. They're big when it comes down. I can't really see how any others can actually, go up against Nintendo, especially Dolphin. But it shouldn't be legal. Emulators are not legal at all. Isn't the ROMs are? Like, it's just It's just like, it's crazy. But it's crazy how emulation itself has gone, has stayed strong this long, you know? And pretty much it's just that I don't really am worried about any of this, to be honest. Because it's still, the emulation community knows ways to actually, in Nintendo, I understand as a company why they're doing this, but it's just so unnecessary. Especially that guy, Gary, I believe, like it's so unnecessary. Like it's just the extensions that they're willing to go to is crazy. Anyways, also I've been seeing RGT, my favorite like gaming channel at the moment right now, was in a smaller podcast. A person that was like, has more than 100,000 subscribers went to a channel for an interview of a person with less than 100 or more than 100 subscribers, which is small subscribe amount. And it made me think, I'm like, damn, I really need to get people. I gotta stop being lazy. I don't know. It just makes me realize, like, Vince, what are you doing? Like, come on. Don't you have people with that amount to actually get reviews? And I wish it's coming soon. I know TVC's been waiting. A couple other people that I can't remember at the moment are waiting as well, you know? But I set myself up for these goals and I'm gonna get them done somehow, okay? It's gonna be difficult, but I'm gonna figure it out. Next is, miraculous. Oh yeah, animation news. We're going to animation news. I just finally watched the first episode of Oshi no Ko because it came out in dub, and I'm always dub all day because I speak English and I love hearing people speak English, the same language. And there's some animes that I watch sub. It's not a lot, unless it's a one that I'm like, like very very curious about. Then I'll watch the sub. But when it comes to dub, 100% of the times, I'm mostly watching dub. I can watch the same thing that I seen before years ago if it's on dub. Okay, that's the things about, dub animes that are more involved with it compared to like other like animes that are just sub. And this one finally came in dub, and I heard that the dub is bad, which is, there are some cringy parts of it, but it's not that bad. And it is pretty deep. I could see why this one has been one of the, not only the greatest, but the most ones that got the most volume from the community. And man, I saw the first episode of Oshinoko, and it's like the ending. I'm not gonna spoil it, but the ending really got me like hooked to know that, damn, is this what's happening? Like, this is it? Like, they went places where I'm like, you can't go there. You can't go there. But they went there. Next up, news from Miraculous Ladybug, if anyone's into that. I never thought I would talk about Miraculous Ladybug at all. It feels like freaking 2021 again. But yeah, they finally put that in order, which has got me interested to see all the episodes in order, because that's what it should be. At least I hope. At least I hope most of it is in dub, because I'm dub all day. It's got to be that, kind of like theme here when I talk about animation. It better be English, okay? Owl House, news surrounding Owl House, I heard. Basically, I heard it ended, which is a series that I've been falling off from. I don't know why, but I really want to get that same effect that from Amphibia, and I didn't get it from Owl House. But now I'm going to really try to change my mind to actually get back into it, to see more Owl House and where it goes. It's just I haven't been really involved at all in the story and where it's going. It feels like there's some parts where I'm just like, I don't see the point of it. But yeah, I'm going to try to come back to it. And Boyfriends. Final news for the animation news. Boyfriends is finally coming back to June. You guys been asking for Boyfriends. You've been asking for more. Like, where's Boyfriends? We want Boyfriends. I still get comments. I still get a bunch of comments and a bunch of, most of my subscribers, most of my views from the Boyfriend series. And guess what? We're about to see some more Boyfriends. It's finally happening. And one thing I'm hoping that I'm allowed to read it, because I really do want to actually stream more Boyfriends. And I need to figure out how to bring freaking Boy Girlfriend back. Because if it comes back, I'm probably gonna freaking stream it all. Most of the episodes of Boy Girlfriend. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Hope you subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz. I'll see you when I see ya. I gotta end this before they cut my recording, because that's been happening a lot. Yeah. Let me know any comments, and I'll see you when I see you. One love and a peace.